Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the very first season of Anon Ki Pathshala. We are thrilled to have you all here today in our pilot episode named Leadership Skills. As someone has correctly said, the journey of 1,000 miles begin with single steps. And today we are taking that step together. But it's important that we should know what is Anon Ki Pathshala, why are we here, what are we here, and other prospects. So for that, I, your host Siddhant Pradhan, would be deep diving you to this particular journey of Anon Ki Pathshala, what Anon Ki Pathshala exactly is, and what we aim for. Can we move ahead? I will just take 300 seconds to explain you a detailed W's about Anon Ki Pathshala, and we're gonna get started pretty quickly. So Anon Ki Pathshala is something that we aim to empower individuals through our insightful sessions with throughout soft skills, your professional skills, your personal skills, and this initiative is inculcating your invaluable skills for the better future. Why Anon Ki Pathshala? We want to foster growth. We want to provide you the real definition of skill development for whom it is. It's for you all guys, and it's free of cost. We want to foster this particular community to each and every individual who are with us, for whom, by whom I would say. So this particular initiative has been initiated by our team leads as well as executive councils of Anon Global Foundation. But again, if you are a new face and you are not aware about what is Anon Global Foundation, we're going to provide you an insights about that too, more or less. How? So just to provide you a deep dive insights, it's a hands-on experience of gaining application-based professional skills by corporate professionals. Today, we have Mr. K Jha, who is the Chief Sales Officer at Presto. We have Dr. Arti Girdhar Ma'am, who is the founder and president of Anon Global Foundation. We're going to talk about them pretty soon, but it's important that we move ahead and provide you an insight about Anon Ki Pathshala, that what we purpose and what we aim. So, as I just mentioned earlier, that we want to diversify this particular skills among students in all fields, and we want to have this particular connection deeper by encouraging you to be a part of our Anon community. In the end, if we move ahead, what we want to seek is in our next slide, that this particular session is going to be conducted by the professional speakers that I just mentioned about, that different topics are going to be explored, different assignments. As is going to provide you a practical applications. And as I just mentioned, that this particular venture is not going to be restricted to season one. There are going to be many more seasons, many more skill development programs, and many more professional speakers was going to enlighten you. If I talk about what's been hiding for you guys, if we move ahead, so we will come to know that. Can we just go to the next one slide? That we have a structure over here, that there is an activity for you guys, that is a quiz that will be providing you an enlightenment journey, that what you learn from today's session in upcoming session. We have a game that is named as Cloud of Gratitude. That's going to be a surprise for you guys. We're going to definitely discuss that part particularly pretty soon. Perks: if you attend all 5 sessions of Anon Ki Pathshala, and e-certificate is waiting for you guys, that you can brag in your portfolios, in your LinkedIn, and where not, in your resumes also. Bonus: as you participate in that particular quiz, there is some hidden surprises that may get revealed in future, but definitely that particular quiz has something hidden for you guys. If we move ahead to the next slide, then let me just conclude my 300 seconds, that this is not a one-time initiative. Right now, you are seeing me in my black good hairs, but definitely in upcoming years, this black is gonna go white, and still you're gonna see me host, or you're gonna see me conduct this particular session, because this is not gonna be restricted to one single season. Anon Ki Pathshala season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and n number of skill development programs are gonna come around with incredible speakers. Today, you have the platform to express yourself with your doubts, queries, and learn from expert in a positive note. And now finally, I welcome all the participants from different academic structure, curricular, and different domains. So moving ahead, this was my 300 seconds. And I believe I have taken my time. Now, if I move ahead, before we begin our Anon Ki Pathshala, I just want to provide that I just we have a special guest with us that I just want to extend my welcome to the participant definitely. But we have an esteemed Vice President, Ms. Shami Pruthi ma'am. Without her guidance or without her vision, we would have made this particular Anonki Parchala a reality. So can we have a big round of applause for Ms. Shami Pruthi ma'am? And it's been a great saying that if your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a true leader. And Shami ma'am, we know that you are a beacon of inspiration for all of us. So I would request you to come ahead and acknowledge our guest participants and keynote speaker. Over to you, Shami ma'am.
Thank you very much, Siddhant. That was a real warm welcome. I really appreciate the kind words that you extended towards me. So, good evening to our esteemed speaker, sir, K Jha Sir, and Dr. Arti Girdhar, all our interns, and all the young participants and speakers who are with us today. Well, without taking too long, as Anand said, as Siddhant said, there are a few people who would not be knowing much about Anon because they are joining us today for the first time. Let me walk you through what Anon is very quickly. So, when we say Anon, it is an NGO that promotes life skills and mental health. We are placed in South Delhi, and about Anon, when we say it acts as a catalyst, right? Because we work towards improving life skills, well-being, and we use all these learnings to ensure all-round welfare of the society. So later we will be even talking about our some of the milestones, but to know about our vision and mission, let's move to the next slide. Anon's vision, promoting and enabling wellness, because wellness is, I think, if we have wellness, we can work upon all the other areas of our life. So, Anon works towards promoting and enabling wellness and living standards for an all round welfare of the society. Our mission is that Anon endeavors to work as a catalyst in bringing holistic health solutions and which are sustainable. Our primary focus are physical and mental health awareness amongst our children, adolescents, youth, teachers, parents, and everyone that we can reach out to. Why we talk about our milestones? Because it talks about how in a short span of 5 years, all our team, the non-family, has worked so hard towards reaching these small milestones. So far, we have taken, when we say sessions, these are the workshops spanning pan India, 1,300 plus. We have connected with more than 250,000 students, more than 10,000 teachers, 11,000 parents. And internships is something that we are like, very happy that we are conducting a lot of internships and bringing our young people on one single platform. So far, we have done 24 batches of internships. We have 1,400 plus volunteers. We have a great panel of speakers, 68 and 60 guest speakers. We are connected with close to 200 schools and colleges. When we talk about the pictures depict a lot of what we are doing, workshops for students, teachers, parents, corporates, RWAs, and many more. Going further, few of our workshop modules, when we connect with schools, we share with them, and then we conduct these workshops according to their requirements and uh, whatever the youth people they require at that time. Apart from the internships and the workshops, we have many other initiatives, and these are some of our annual events. And on interns meet, where all the interns come on a single platform. We do certain fun games and a lot of learning activities. And on Principals Connect is an initiative to bring around school leaders, elevating leadership, and on Utsav, which is due around the corner on 31st of August 2024, where we again bring a lot of schools and our interns to present their whatever their learnings or some cultural things, all related to mental health and life skills. Teachers Connect again is important because if our teachers are elevated, they have good life skills, they keep on brainstorming and upscaling themselves, they build the future of our young people. So apart from that, there are a lot of other initiatives that we can talk, but today we will just focus on these. This is a picture of an honors of 2022 and an honors of 2023. The black t-shirts that you see are the prized or the earned t-shirts by volunteers of the month. All the interns who are with us are well aware of it. These are few pictures of the interns. I hope the new young people who have joined us today get inspired and have a sneak peek into what is going on at Anon. Anon Interns Meet 3.0, 4.0. The numbers keep increasing with every meet. Now, we have 15 different teams for the internships, which if you join us, we can always talk about it in detail. The next set of internship begins on 1st of November, and the forms will be circulated in the month of October. So this was a brief about Anon. Now, today we have started or launched our new initiative, an initiative that is the Anon Ki Pathshala. Why? Because at Anon, we always believe in the power of knowledge, mentorship, and continuous learning. So today I'm very excited because it's the beginning of an exciting journey, which is designed to nurture and empower each one of you. Because it is just not an initiative, it is a movement that aims to bridging the gap between the academic knowledge and the real world skills, because we all know there is a huge gap of what we learn in school and what is really required. So before I hand back it to my this platform back to Siddhant, I would take a little moment to acknowledge the incredible efforts of all our interns, because it is they who have proposed this initiative, and not only proposed, they have designed, and now they are executing this initiative. It is like including all the interns of different teams, be it event management, be it life skills, be podcast. So your dedication, creativity, and hard work have made Anon Ki Pathshala a reality today. Now, this is a testament to your commitment to learning and growth, but not just for yourself, but for your peers also. So I congratulate each one of you for this initiative. And as Siddhant has already told you, that we will be transversing through different levels, each spanning over 1 quarter. Each level will have 5 carefully curated sessions, which would be led by experts from various fields. These sessions will cover vital topics like leadership, emotional intelligence, time management, and much, much more. So we we by participating in this Anonki Pathshala, I you are not only gaining knowledge, but you are investing in your future. You are enhancing your skills. So I encourage each one of you to participate, ask questions, and engage with our speakers. Make the most of this long learning opportunity, grow and transform. So thank you for being a part of this inaugural session. A special thanks to all our interns for their vision and effort in bringing this initiative to life. And we hope to, begin the first session with great excitement. Over to you, Siddhant. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Shami ma'am. Thank you so much for providing us such a great insight about Anon as well as this particular journey. But indeed, there are still two things that is remaining. I mean, we have reached a amount of 100, so it's great that if we just have a quick photo together before it's too late. So can the team remove me from the spotlight, and can we have a proper frame so that we can have a quick photo before we start with our today's session? Can we have a camera, and can we have a thumbs up? And can team take some clicks of this particular frame or grid. That would be an amazing thing for everyone. That and I think it looks good. Alpesh, I hope you can do the needful with the screenshots and everything. And we are relying on you as well as different core team members. Please do the needful with the cameras. In three, two, one, can we have a thumbs up if possible? All right. And Alpesh, whenever you are done with the number 100, that would be amazing. Oh, 101. That's Shagun. Alpesh, you are on mute and my thumbs are getting sore. Please do let us know.
It's done. It's done.
Done. All right. With the number, I believe so.
Yeah, with the number.
Perfect. Perfect.
Siddhant,
So before we, yes,
Siddhant,
ma'am.
just wait. We will go for a final photograph also. If the number still
Definitely,
stay
ma'am.
more than 100, fine. Because those might be missing. They are fixing their
Definitely,
backups and all that. We can have in the end also. Fine. So stay tuned till the end.
Definitely. And the second thing that I was talking about, so before we deep dive into our today's session, I would like to remind you that we have a special channel that is our Anon Stream podcast. For that, uh, it inspires us, it educates us, it's connect with us. So please make sure that we update our latest episode on that particular platform. But Shami ma'am would be the right person to provide us last few insights, ma'am, about Anon Stream before we jump to our main session.
Sure. Thank you, Siddhant, once again. As all of you know, Anon Streams is our podcast channel. We have a podcast team. We invite experts, and all these interns, they have conversations with psychologists, with experts from different domains. And they record, and not only record, but edit, upload, create reels, which means it is a great learning experience, not only in being creative by writing those scripts, connecting with people, developing their public speaking skills, and whatnot, and even collaborating with the different teams. So I would request all of you to visit us at Anon Streams on Spotify, follow us and engage with our podcasts, because these are podcasts relate to the challenges that you young people at this age face. And there are different doable, actionable, small things, insights provided by the experts and even the young people themselves. So which means we can have lot of information as well as actionables on how to overcome our day-to-day challenges. I hope to take this number ahead with your followership, and hope to, enrich your experiences. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shami ma'am. Thank you. Now, without a further ado, let's get started with one last thing. I mean, as I just mentioned earlier, that this was something that we embrace, and please do scan the QR code, as well as the team has been dropping the Anon Streams link. Please do check out and do subscribe, because we are manifesting that if you can cross us 100 in this particular forum, you can definitely get us 200 plus subscribers to this particular channel, and we are manifesting that you can do it. If you can just please see through it, that in the chat box as well as in front of your screen, you have the QRs to please do the needful. That's it. So now it's time to uh, begin our today's episode, or we can say the debut session on leadership skill. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. SK Jha, who is the Chief Sales Officer at Presto and is an expert strategic management. Mr. SK Jha, I have no worries, all yours, sir. Please go ahead and enlighten us. Thank you so much.
Hey, wonderful, Siddhant. Wonderful, Arti. And it's so great to be on this forum. I'm really amazed that 9 o'clock in the night, we have upwards of 100 participants. And that's actually thrilling. Like, I've had a very a hard couple of days. Like we have been extremely busy in some of the activities that we have been doing at our work front. But I feel absolutely charged up when I see so many people logging in after their day's work, and I don't feel tired anymore. So I think a wonderful platform, Aarti, that you have created. I get to see in bits and pieces when I interact with you, when I see some of those mailers and WhatsApp that you share. But to really be a part of such a huge forum and the type of activities that you're doing, I think kudos and hats off to Aarti as the leader and her phenomenal team, and 1,400 volunteers. So that is something which is really over the top. So I was just going through Sami ma'am's presentation, and what she talked about was Anon has done 1,300 sessions and some 2.54 lakh, that is 254,000 students have been touched. So they have, interacted with Anon as the platform, whether it is in person or through virtual session. That is the number of connects that you have done, and you have trained might be 10,000 plus students, 1,400 volunteers. Like that is those are amazing numbers. Schools and colleges, 185. So great work, Anon. I think what you are doing is really needs appreciation, and I can't sort of speak much more about the good work that you are doing. So we are having a beautiful topic, and that topic is something which is very close to what I do, to what I have been doing over the years. So I will, straight away begin with today. I was told that the participants, most of them are school-going kids in the class 9 to might be 12th, a few working in personnel who are at various levels in organizations. So, I tried to create my talk around how I could, connect with the students, mostly from the 9 to 12th. Like today, if you see, most students, when they are at class 7, 8, they begin preparation for something what we call as the IIT or the entrance exams, or the various entrance to the professional colleges. So you begin so early, right from class 7th, 8th, and for something which will you will appear for an exam after class 12. So that is the level of preparation that we do as far as getting into this. But what happens is that once you are through with your professional studies, when you get into the real life, when you start working, when you start creating organizations, when you are delving out as an entrepreneur, one thing that is needed and that everybody aspires to be is a leader. And so why not have sessions, training, sort of helping these breed of people who are getting into later stages in life, into positions where they require leadership skills. Why can't we start early? Why can't we be doing it as we do it for the entrance exams? So something which Anon is doing is connecting to the our future generation and doing these interventions. And I'm so happy that you have started with leadership, because leadership is something which everybody wants to become, but they do not know how to become. So I congratulate Anon to be starting and having these type of intervention sessions, which we call as Patsala, which is very easy to comprehend, and have people from the industry, from various profiles, come and speak. Without much, let me say a little bit about myself. So I'm K Jha, and I have been a part of organization building. I have created organization. I have worked in organizations. I have been a part of multiple interesting things during my journey of last 35 years. And one of the key things that I sort of relate when we talk about leaders is how do you at a distance identify who is definitely having a leadership quality, and how you can make sure that what are the areas of improvement. So in leadership, one test that I generally adopt is by looking at a person and finding out how a person treats or engages with another person who is weaker than him, who is not in a position of power, who can't harm that person, who can't harm the other person. How this person treats or engages with that type of person who is harmless to him. By that, you can make out as to how a leader or what quality of a leader that person would be. So I think that is something which is a very acid test of a person, of their inherent leadership styles. So some of the things that, in my long journey in a professional career, I have learned some of these leadership lessons that I have learned. I can, I have them on the screen. It must be visible to everybody. But the top on of my list is everyone can help you learn something. So you should be open to learn something, because if you are a glass full, you will not be imbibing, or you'll not be absorbing what the environment around you is trying to teach you. What are the people and the colleagues that you work with or that you interact with, whether at school, what are they trying to teach you if you're not open to that? So you have something to learn from everyone that you interact. There is a difference between what is a manager and a leader. We hear managers and leaders, and they are used almost interchangeably, but managers and leaders are different. And I'll elaborate over as we progress in this session today. Leadership, the true thing about leadership, it is a very hard thing to really follow. But once you adapt or adopt the qualities of a leader, you enjoy being a leader. And to be a leader, one thing is very important is self-awareness, which is be aware of your strength, about your weakness, about your colleagues, about the people around you, about the environment. That awareness is very important. And most importantly, what is a leader if he is very closed, if he's not attracting feedback? Because without feedback, you cannot improve. You cannot go to the next level. You deny yourself the ability to scale up if you do not listen to feedback from your network, from your peer surroundings. And most importantly, for a leader, it is very important to effectively communicate. You might be very good at something, but if you are not able to put your idea, your thought, your inputs across, like you suffer. So communication is very important. Communication is not about blabbering. Communication is not about being a very extrovert in speaking. Communication is about putting your point across, your position across to the other person. And most importantly, the last one in my list is be present. Are you present to what is happening around you? Are you present to the requirements of the people who are rallying around you? That is something which is also a very good, important leadership lesson that I have learned. You have to be present for your colleagues who are working for you, who are interacting with you. So I think, leaders, they rely more on influence, less on formal authority. Most people sort of mix it up that I have the authority. I am the boss at the school. I am the monitor of the class. I am the head boy or girl. So I have the authority. So I am a leader. No. So leadership is about the extent of influence that you sort of extend on your circle, on the people who are around you. How much people are ready to rally because of not the authoritarian position that you are holding, but about the role that you are discharging. So, which basically transpires it that you have to have the ability to motivate people, to motivate them to align themselves to the ideas, thoughts that you are bringing across. Leaders are more likely to be taking risks and be innovative in their approach. So you have to be taking risk. But if you are sort of in a cocooned in your comfort zone, you definitely cannot grow to be a leader. So you have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to go to these unknown areas where so many things are not known. And the most as you step into real life, things are very unambiguous. It is ambiguous. There is so much of change happening when we are in the school environment, when we are in the protection of our parents, when we have our seniors to take care of us. Things are quite ambiguous, because that is, as a leader, as a parent, as a teacher, they create that environment of unambiguity, of clarity around you. The change or the rate of change is not so fast. But as you step out, whether into professional studies or into real working life, as working in organizations or working in organization that you have built, things are very ambiguous. Things are not so clear. It is blurred to a great extent, and things are changing very, very fast. So how do you adapt to it? So leadership enables you to counter ambiguity and change. So I think you know if there is a situation where generally a manager will have this much of information, this much of time, and the amount of impact that they would create would be this much. But in a leader's life, the amount of information is this much, the time is even less, but the impact that it has to create is very wide. So that is what a leader is. With little amount of information, with little amount of resources, with little amount of time at hand, a leader can create an impact. And that's the reason leaders are respected. And that's the reason we are having this session, to really entice our participant to think in those lines as to how they can inculcate leadership qualities in them, because that is something, besides the entrance exam preparation that you might all will be doing, besides the amount of studies that you might be doing, in order to keep you at good stead, in order to really prepare you for what lies ahead in this ambiguous and changing world. Leadership is something, if trained, or if you are following that, you will be really helped with that. So I think Anon is doing something which is really phenomenal. So some of the leadership skills that comes to my mind, and through my wide experience of interfacing with various people, various leaders, about myself in my personal and professional life, some of the leadership skills, if I were to jot it down, and not in any order, is creativity and positivity. Like, you have to have the creativity and the positivity to be a leader. You cannot be a uncreative, not so creative, and a negative type of person, and you will not influence anybody. So if you want to be a leader, you have to fill yourself with a lot of affirmations, a lot of positivity in your thinking and engagement with people. You will have to have the ability to decide. You cannot be procrastinating. You cannot be undecisive and wait for somebody else to take the decision for you, for your life. You cannot be just sitting around that and saying that things will fall into place. Decisiveness is very important. One of the things which is very, very close to my heart is integrity. You have to be having integrity first with yourself. When you say that you will do this before you go to bed, this particular task, this particular exercise, this particular assignment, you have to be truthful to yourself and have that integrity to complete it. Same way that integrity, when practiced internally with yourself, extends outside. If your integrity is with yourself, and nobody is having a view onto your thoughts or your commitments to yourself, but if you are having the integrity to be delivering to what you have committed yourselves to be, that integrity automatically extends in your actions, in your thoughts, into your interface with people. And that is what is seen very, very closely when you step out in any of your engagements, whether at school or whether at college or whether in your professional life. Integrity is very, very important. I think I hold integrity at the top. Relationship building, the ability to build long-standing relationship with the people around you. So team building is very important. The ability to have a problem-solving mind. A problem-solving mind is an attitude. It's an approach. You have to have the problem-solving mind to really qualify yourselves as a leader. You should be dependable. People should be able to walk up to you, talk about their issues, talk about their problems that they are facing, and they should have that confidence that you will provide them the right guidance. That dependability is important. And most importantly, I think the ability to teach and mentor. We all have something to teach. We have the ability to mentor people who are around us, who we think requires that mentorship. Because if you have the ability to teach and mentor, you will have the ability to be taught and mentored. So it is a vicious cycle. It is something which, if imbibed internally, exhibits itself externally. All of these somewhere take you to the ability to take risk, to have the ability to step out from your comfort zone, think out of the box, and be risk taking. And I can't say, I can't emphasize more about one important trait, which is a human trait, which is patience, empathy, and absolutely important is the ability to listen. If you listen, most of the problems get solved. Generally, we are so enthralled by our own sound of sound of our voice that we generally cut off everybody. If we actively listen, we would be a great leader. We would be a great problem solver. We would find the answer in our listening. So I think these are some of the top leadership that comes to my mind. And that is something, the leadership skill set list would be very, very long. So what I tried to do was to compile some of the things which I feel is paramount or the top of the list. Next slide, please. We talk about leadership, and we can evolve ourselves into various types of leadership. And some of the types of leadership that comes to my mind is transformational leader, a leader who is able to change the entire environment, is able to make his team or organization or the people who they connect with move into a different orbit, sort of transcend into a different orbit, take them from one operating level to the real next higher operating level. So that type of leadership is known as transformational leadership. You have a delegative leader who says, you know what, I have no issue in you doing the job. You come to me for direction. I'll be able to mentor but you have to do your job yourself. So you delegate. You don't try and hold it back. So those type of leadership skills requires huge amount of confidence in the leader, self-confidence to be able to delegate. Most people can't delegate because they have a confidence issue on themselves. They have a insecurity issue among themselves. So good leaders are not insecure. They are secure in their understanding that you would not be knowing everything, that you would not be the best person to do everything, that there are people who can be delegated a job and can be encouraged, taught, mentored, helped, and so that they can do a good job as far as their roles are concerned. The third, which I talked about, is the authoritative leader, the leader who derives his strength from the rank or the position or the card or the level that they enjoy in any human setup, whether it is a school, whether it's a college, whether it's a professional working, or whether it's an organization, anywhere. So a formal rank is given to a person, and he or she uses that rank to create the influence among the people who have to work for it. So I think that is something which is not a very good style of leadership. The next is a transactional leadership, where you are very limited to a transaction. So in a one transaction, you try and behave like a leader. In another, it is something again not very recommended. The Another one is the participative leader, a leader who does not pass on instructions, who sort of creates collaboration. He invites the inputs from everybody, and then in a group they all agree to for the outcome or the way to be followed. So that is a participative leader. And one very interesting type of leadership is known as servant leadership, where you, as a leader, you serve all the people who work for you, who you go and enable those people who are a part of, who look up to you. And that type of leadership is known as servant leadership. So leadership is not about being perfect, but authentically leading. You have to be, be authentic in everything that you do. When you lead from a position of passion and purpose, that is contagious. When you are driven by the passion, by your own drive and the purpose of making an impact, that is a very a environment where people naturally get attracted to you. They are okay to come and on their own follow you. They attach themselves with you. So as a leader, it is vitally important that you be open and seek actively feedback. I have talked about the ability to listen back, so that feedback is also important. So, that brings up me to the question, like you would have generally heard, that leader is a natural born leader. So let me ask, myself as to whether all leaders are born leaders. Research has shared with us that about a third of the leaders are really intrinsic leaders. They are born leaders. They have that intrinsic quality. But two-thirds of leaders, which we see, are trained leaders, are leaders who made themselves available to platforms like Anon Pathshala and many more which are there to inculcate leadership qualities, traits, improvements in order to become a leader. So, when somebody says that he is a born leader, he is naturally inclined to be a leader, I would tend to disagree. You have to prepare yourself to be a leader in everything that you do. In any social setup that you would be, you can train yourself to be a leader. And that is something which, I feel really privileged to be a part of Anon Pathshala, where the such sessions are being conducted, where it helps, or it at least encourages you to get into such type of workshops. So I think, this is something which I really do for myself. Like we all know about a board of director. In any company, there is a board of director. What is the role of that board of director? The role of that board of director is to oversee the health, success, and which direction the company is going to be heading to. So the role of that board of directors is that. So you be the center of that company or that social setup. You surround yourself with six, you see that six circles which is drawn. What I do as a exercise, and what I tell my people who I try and mentor, is draw these circles and fill up these circles with traits that you think a leader should have. So six top of the mind traits that you think that a leadership should have, fill yourself with those traits in those circles. And in that line that is there besides each of these circle, fill up the name that comes to your mind, which corresponds to that trait that you filled. So you say, ability to really involve people and be influential in everything that you do, which is a name that comes to you from your known circles. It could be your teacher, it could be your friend, it could be your uncle or somebody in the family, it could be somebody who you know from the political world. But I would encourage you, fill it with somebody who you know on a first name basis, or on a immediate basis, not somebody like Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi. That is not on a third level. So on a first level, whatever people that comes to your mind who meets that trait in your circle around you, and it will not be difficult. So fill it up, and then basically once you have filled it up, you try and deliberate with yourself, and might be your friend circle or somebody with whom you are able to speak. You deliberate and discuss each quality and why they are important to you. So this is a beautiful exercise, and as a takeaway, might be this presentation gets shared. You could do this, and you see as to where do you stand as far as those traits are concerned. These traits could be it can evolve. The names that you put could evolve, but let it be an evolutionary exercise. But for every stage in life, for every time you have at hand, you could do this exercise and evaluate where do you stand as those traits that you have put, uh, and what improvement areas do you think that you should have to inculcate those traits. So this is a beautiful exercise. I think if imbibed as a task, it sort of impregnates itself on the subconscious, and you start doing this exercise. Initially it might take some time, but if you repetitively do that, it gets ingrained in your being, and you start behaving those traits that I have written, that you would be writing, and that you will start first impersonating or trying to impersonate those traits before long before it becomes intrinsic to you, and you will start exhibiting those traits. See, it's one of a very simple but very effective exercise that you could adopt. I call it the personal board of directors exercise. It is widely followed at a lot of leadership development forums, and this is something which is a very favorite of mine, and I recommend. Next slide, please. So we talked about this. I think management is about coping with complexity, and leadership, by contrast, is coping with change. As we step out into our respective lives, in our professional life or professional education and all that, we would be bombarded with a lot of ambiguity and change. A effective preparation helps you to embrace those ambiguity and change, to be okay with your vulnerability. Most people are not okay with their vulnerability. They try and hide, or they try and bury those vulnerabilities, so that if somebody sees, they might exploit it. Most people have that thinking. But a good leader is okay with the vulnerability, because if he is able to be in comfort with his vulnerability, is only when he would improve in overcoming the vulnerability. Otherwise, the vulnerability would lie in dormant and would get exploited one day, would trouble you one day. So it's okay to be vulnerable. So the world has become very competitive, and more volatile, and more change is there. And that is the reason that good leaders are required. So we have to, for our next generation, empower our younger generation with leadership skills which are imbibed in such workshops, imbibed in some of these professional training, imbibed in the environment around us, to get them to become good leaders. So, successful corporation don't wait for leaders. So this is something which is actually very interesting. And I talk from my professional career. Like generally, there is no leadership development program in most organizations, or even if it is more lip service than actual. So what happens is that you are thrown up to or you're suddenly introduced into a leadership position, and you don't know how to deal with that. So there becomes a mismatch. So strong leadership with weak management is, is no better. So you could be having a very good leader, but without management, it is not so good. It's okay, but it's not so desirable. So a strong leader with good managerial skills is something which the environment needs to provide, and that is something which I think we should all work towards. So from a leadership management development, as I talked about, middle management is the hardest role in an organization. So who is a middle manager? Who was doing the initial entry level jobs. So when you tomorrow get into a work environment, tomorrow when you go into your own organization which would be a family business, you will start at the bottom. At the bottom, you are interviewed for your skill set, for your how much of knowledge you are having, and there are easy interventions that are done in order to make you ready for the job that is provided to you. But as years progress, you become a middle manager, a middle level manager, and suddenly you are thrown into a leadership position. You start commanding people. So there are those people, the lot of bunch of people who start reporting to you, or you become a leader to that bunch of people. And those people are the same people you were might be 3, 4, 5 years back, in the past. So if you are not trained to become take up a position at that level, you will definitely have challenges. So we do not train people how to lead. So it's very important that we have such workshops where we initiate people, at least, because this workshop is just to might be excite you and might be get you thinking about such courses or such workshops or such readings that you might like to have. Yep. So I think I have talked about this. We can go to the next slide, and might be yes, please go to the next slide. So this is something which in an organization, and that organization could be any social setup. I have plotted performance at the y-axis and trust on the x-axis. So if you see at the extreme left, you have a box which is known as LPLT. LP is low performance and low trust. A low performance, low trust person can never become a leader. But high performance, low trust type of people generally become a leader. Why? Because most of our measurement matrix is around measuring performance. There is no measuring of trust, whether that person is trustworthy, whether anybody would depend on that person. So what happens in an organization, a person who is performing, who has got high performance, but is not so trustworthy, because of the measurement metrics, gets promoted and becomes a leader. And that is the saddest thing that can happen. The extreme of that is a high performance with a high trust. So a ideal leader could be a person who is having high performance and high trust, who has high standards, who performs very well and can be dependable and relied on. But not necessarily you will have people with high performance and high trust always available there. So you generally are okay, or rather our systems should be okay to accept a medium performer with high trust, or even might be a low performer but with a high trust. And that is the importance of a trust. A high performance, low trust would be a toxic leader, but a great leader needs to be having high trust. So let me sort of wrap up. I think this is a very interesting thing. Why do you think the lion is the leader of the jungle? It is a lot of animals are bigger, stronger, more IQ than a lion. But still you find a lion eats all of them for lunch. Much bigger than them. Elephant, a hippopotamus, a rhinoceros, more dangerous. Camel, more dangerous than a lion. But still, a lion is able to have those animals for lunch. It is because of the attitude. It believes that when it encounters an elephant, it sees lunch in that elephant. So it is that amount of confidence that the lion carries that it says that, you know, elephant is a lunch. And that's the reason leadership is about 80% mentality. It's 80% of mentality and attitude, and it's just 20% of skills. So somewhere that attitude, the mentality is so very important. And obviously you will have to have the environment where you prepare yourself to be a good leader. So, and that's the reason why skillful people work for those with the right attitude, have the right attitude. I think that brings me to the close of my presentation. I don't know whether I've exceeded my time, but I'll be open for any Q&A that would be there. And thank you, Anand, for inviting me.
Can we have some emojis? Can we have some clap for Mr. S.K. Jha, sir? Thank you so much for enlightening us, sir. Indeed. I mean, if we talk about touching points with example, and if we talk about touching the real-time examples and providing your own insights, is something really every intern would be cherishing about. And I believe that out of this many interns, there are gonna be many leaders of tomorrow. And thanks to you for providing such a great insight. Definitely, we're gonna have Q&A, guys. By that time, we have an open forum Q&A. You can drop your questions in the chat box. We're gonna, I mean, our team is gonna take those questions pretty soon because we have one more session with us. Once that particular part is done, you can collaboratively ask both the questions in one shot. So without a further ado, I believe everyone enjoyed the first part of the session. And now I would like to call upon our second speaker, Dr. Arti Girdhar Ma'am. She is the founder and president of Anon Global Foundation and a wealth of experience in leadership development. She will guide us with the habits that will guide us through the nuances of effective leadership. And remember, everyone, leadership is not about being the change. It's about taking care of those who is in your charge. And over to you, Dr. Girdhar Ma'am. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. And definitely, Mr. Jha, it gave me goosebumps when you were talking about those things that actually I have done. I have been in the service for 20 years. And after that, I started this initiative. And without any training of this leadership, through my practical experience, I have developed those skills. And when you were discussing about managerial things and all that, I proudly say that I can manage my interns, and whosoever, maybe they are my returning interns or the past intern, whosoever I call back, they are always ready to work. And that is the kind of trust they have developed in me. And definitely one thing that these interns look forward is the appreciation. And I feel that there are different ways of appreciating the interns. And when uh, because I am a science teacher also, so I believe that chemical hormones, happiness chemicals, they are playing a crucial role in everybody's life. So I am developing a kind of chain reaction. I believe after me, there are many leaders who will be developing themselves, because somewhere or the other, the thoughts were similar. Fine. And a true leader actually means who has a passion to build leader, and they further develop more leaders. So we are a country where we have very mindful, very sharp children. And definitely if we train them, they all can become entrepreneurs. They have ideas with them. The only thing is the thoughts that they are that is backing forward, them backward. Dear audience, I have I have six points to discuss today. The first point that I have already shared is the chain reaction. So remember, whatever the out of 6 points, whatever point you feel that has touched you, do let us know in the end, because in the end I'll be asking you which point you like the best. Fine. So first is, you believe that you are a leader to develop that chain reaction, so that when you develop other leaders, you feel a sense of satisfaction, and the gratitude that come back because of your effort make a lot of difference in society. So we want you to inspire to not an authoritative person, but yes, a very compassionate and having lot of gratitude to the society, because we are living in a social system where we need to understand everybody's challenges and everybody's abilities. So the kind of thoughts that Mr. Jha shared about trust, that is something I say it is the strongest thing that could happen in any organization. Performance तो फिर भी हम ट्रेनिंग दे दे के improve कर लेते हैं, but this kind of trust that should be there. Let me tell you, in our internship we take so many students on the basis of their performance. And let me share the highest performing child who showed us ki ha, he can do this or that and that. He is the one who actually don't have the attitude to work, and at times we need to ask these intern to move out, because they can't be trusted, because they are not looking into the vision that we are looking forward. So coming to the second point, so first point is my chain reaction. The second point that I'm going to talk about is, who is a leader? Leader. A leader is the person who lead first of all self, then others, and then he lead the change, and later he lead the future. So a leader, according to me, is a futuristic leader. और ये futuristic leader तभी बन पाते हैं when they have lot of gratitude and motivation inside the inner drive. You can do multiple trainings. You can spend n number of money, but until Allah that inner drive to become the person that you believe in, it's not possible. So children, there are a lot of resources to become leader at your own pace. So go ahead, learn from your life. So the third point that I want to discuss is very crucial. We have a WhatsApp channel, an All Global Foundation, and in this, for past 2 days, we are running certain surveys. Okay, there are three questions that were put up in the past 3 days. The first question that was there was, what quality do you admire most in a leader? Fine, and I saw the kind of voting we received. The first choice of most of the participant was excellent communicator. But a excellent communicator can influence you, that he can do wonders. But at times, what is needed is the visionary thinker. Visionary thinker, he has a vision, he has a drive inside. So the minimum votes that went for this visionary thinker, I feel that should be the first one, irrespective of, because at class 9th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 12th, we feel कि जिसका communication best है ना, he is a leader. No, you will develop yourself over a period of time as you start working. But first of all, you have that vision. That vision board is very important. Fine. And after that, the point should be integrity. So visionary thinker, and then integrity keeper. And after that, there might be option of being empathetic, problem solver, and excellent communicator. Fine. The second question, very interesting. What motivates you to follow a leader? Here, the voting that has happened was really good, and you are very clear. The answer most of you have given is the clear vision and goals. And well done to the all the participants who have given. But yes, second, rest of the options were personal charisma, then trust and integrity, and open communication. And yes, there was fifth point, that is reward and recognition. Nobody voted for that. Let me tell you, most of you who have joined this internship is because they have that idea कि okay, कोई कुछ कोर्स कर लेते हैं और वो मुझे वो लेटर मिल जाएगा और या फिर कुछ अवार्ड मिल जाएगा. That is why. But the moment you are into the system, you understand, no, it has more than that. Fine. So it do motivates you. The recognition, Mr. Jha, I would like to ask you, what in this the organization where you are working on, there is no recognition and no reward. What will happen?
No, it will. So I think as humans, it's important that reward and recognition should be there. And that brings me to a very interesting example, like from my personal journey also. Like there was a time when I was bootstrapping an organization, so I had very limited resources, very limited amount of money, but we were having a vision, and we were able to garner people around us who subscribe to that vision. And the reward and recognition at that stage, because everybody was working hard, was not monetary. It was just going and sitting with that person and really acknowledging that you are doing a good work and that you are a part of this, and thank you for subscribing to the vision, common vision. We will create something very great. And people did, because they saw something, because something aligned with their personal story. Some chord had to be struck, and it is not necessarily the reward and recognition is uh, money or position. It could be just acknowledgement of that you are doing good. And interestingly, and the industry knows me for that when my first company which I created, when we did an exit, I had some 377 people working on that. And on the day of our merger and acquisition, we had some 6 people who joined us that day. We rewarded every person who was on board, and the 6 people who joined on the day where we exited that company was also rewarded. So I remember a lady who was there. She came up and she said, "Sir, I just joined the day the merger happened. Why did you reward me? You did not need to reward me." I said, "No, you're a part of my team. The scale of reward might not be the same as somebody who has been with me for the last X number of years, but you have been a part of team. You decided to be a part of team, and as a being a part of the team, you are getting that recognition." So I think that really touched, and that is something which is from my personal experience. So reward and recognition is important, not necessarily always in kind, in cash or something. It could be being present for that person is also very important. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Okay. The third question that we surveyed on this WhatsApp channel was, which skill is essential for a leader to just wait, just wait. Huh. Which skill is essential for a leader to master? Most of you have given this voting of decision making. But the other option, just listen: strategic planning, conflict resolution, motivation, yeah, this one. So most of you, because these are the students, they feel that yes, a leader should have the decision making, but it's very important. Until and unless you have motive, you have some kind of motivation to become something and to work on it, things will not happen. First you need to have that motivation, after that you can look into the decision making. Fine. So these are the 3 questions, and these were very interesting. Now the fourth part of my presentation is about habit reset. As you know that in psychology we say, often say that 21 days are the habit reset days, where whatever habit you want to instill, you need to spend your smart time or focus time on for this 21 days, and then it become a part of you. So first habit, if you believe that you want to become a leader at this age only, so that people will follow you, your ways, your idea, they will ask you. Number one is lead with empathy. There are people who, because teenagers mostly end up at times with the conflicts as well as this arguments. If you are there, the third person is watching you, that you have that habit, that will not help. So lead with empathy. Second habit you need to understand is embrace change. You should not be complaining of this is not happening, this is not change. Change is the real new dynamic. Go for it. Fine. Third habit you need to understand and imbibe is act as a mentor. Okay. Because when you discuss and as a mentor, you explain, the things become more compassionate, more kind. The fourth habit is uh, welcome different views. You need to be a very good listener when you are into you aspire to become a leader. And the fourth very important that we involve in our work internship also, encourage age diversities. We have in our internship teachers also. We have in our internship class 9 student. Class 9 student might be thinking, अरे वो तो TCS में काम करता है, how can he be a part of this? So it's not that you, it's your thought that is making a loop in you ki okay, you are less because you are less 5 year 10 year lesser than them. But yes, it's not like that. We all are brainy, we all have good beliefs and we can work upon. There is no age that make you different from others. The only thing is experience. You just keep experiencing at a faster pace and be a leader. Fine. Now the fifth thing that I want to ask, I want to share is on teamwork. Okay. Teamwork, because everyone should be in the learning path in this fast and dynamic world, and a leader is an example to be look forward. So he should keep himself in the learning path along with the team. ओके तो वो भी लर्न कर रहा है, लीडर भी लर्न कर रहा है और बच्चे भी लर्न कर रहे हैं, टीम भी लर्न कर रही है. एवरीबडी इज लर्निंग बिकॉज एट टाइम्स our R&D team is doing wonderful work. At times I pick their work in my workshop. That means a leader is also learning from the interns. And I'm very much thankful of event management. I never thought that the event management team can do this kind of work. Again, I am learning from you. So we don't think we are experienced, so we are 100%. No, we are learning. We all are learning. Fine. So teamwork include brainstorming. That is why in our internship also we make teams so that you can brainstorm. Result I, that is a different thing. But yes, when you come for a meeting and discuss, you develop that happy chemicals also. Fine. And then engagement. The next teamwork should include the success. Everybody should be positive about the success of whatever they are discussing. And the next thing a leader should be having is that success from inside. अगर टीम में 5 लोग हैं और पांचों के पांचों लीडर समझ रहे हैं अपने आप को, तो वो तभी पॉसिबल है जब उनके अंदर से वो सक्सेस ऑफ दिस टास्क इज देयर. फाइन. सो everyone is a leader of his own life. Life should say ye dil mange more, and hence the spirit should be in everyone's life. Because this life is छोटी सी life, I believe. काम बहुत करने हैं. But yes, the next thing, the last point that I want to share is about your thoughts that are converting into destiny. Leaders के दो तरह के thoughts होते हैं. एक कि मैं कर तो लूंगा, whether वो possible होगा या नहीं होगा. And the other thing कि मैं करूंगा और ये possible भी होगा. Fine. So whatever your thoughts, they convert into words. These words convert into action. Action convert into habit. Habit convert into character. And then once it come into your character, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा, आपके सारे thoughts positive होंगे और all these things are going to happen like a magic. We often ask our interns to do appreciation of self, to manifest. Most of you are aware of the magic word tathastu. Okay, so that is why we want you people to believe in your thoughts so that it can convert into your destiny of becoming a leader. So my last statement, in a leader journey, there is no failure. It is either win or learn. No failure. हो ही नहीं सकता. जब थॉमस एडिसन हैज टेस्टेड फॉर बल्ब फॉर 9999 टाइम्स, तो फेलियर कहाँ है? It's all creativity, all learning, and hence stay tuned till your life, like 100 plus years. Every year you are improving yourself to become leader of society, where you inspire others. Then magic will happen. Thank you very much. But yes, at those 6 points, I want everybody to write, choose one statement. Siddhant, can you just share these pointers once again?
Sure,
One
sure, sure.
point that inspire you a lot. I talked about these things. I talked about chain reaction. I talked about lead. I talked about survey. I talk about habit reset, teamwork, thoughts to destiny. So, which one you would like to connect more today? So, right on the chat, and after that, I can conclude this. So, Siddhant, just keep on reading whatever answers you are getting.
Definitely, ma'am. The chat box is totally open, and people have started with chain reaction, lead, R, teamwork. So it's a mixed batch of everything, I believe so. But currently, lead R is leading.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. For me, chain reaction, thoughts of destiny, habit reset, habit reset. Yeah, I mean, trust me, it's gonna be a tough thing
Mhm.
because there is a mixture of everything. But thoughts of destiny, teamwork, leader. Oh, now again, lead R is in lead.
चलो let me ask two leaders we are having here. In fact, four leaders तो भी हैं ही हमारे पास. तो let me ask Jha sir, which one you would choose out of these?
I think it's very difficult to choose one, but if I were to pick in no order of
Only one.
yeah, I think teamwork, habit reset, and thoughts to destiny. They sort of attract me the most.
Okay, great. Shami Pruthi ma'am.
You know, I am a staunch believer of thoughts leading to destiny,
Okay, great.
and that even takes up to the chain reaction. So that's a amalgamation of that.
Yes, great. Alpesh.
Ma'am, chain reaction and habit reset.
Okay, great. And Siddhant, now your turn.
Again, for me, it would be chain reaction and thoughts of destiny because manifestation is something that actually turns out to be pretty an origin story for me. Like कहाँ से कहाँ तक का सफर. So yeah.
And chain reaction is like ripple effect when it do magic in your life. Because it's just I can't believe like in 5 year journey so much of support. Actually मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं सिर्फ डायरेक्शन दे रही हूँ and all the interns are doing the work. They are ready to do work. They are ready to balance their academics with this. There is an principal connect group with us where almost 50 principals are there. I keep on mentioning कि how come the students are able to balance both the things, and that is what they always reply, your magic. Because I believe कि magic ये था कि मेरी एक belief था, एक thought था, और आप उसको convert करिए destiny में. So thank you very much. My favorite is thoughts to destiny. Thank you very much.
Phew. I mean, what an amazing session it was, ma'am. Trust me. I think everyone would have inspired from this particular practical habits, the valuable tools, and the journey you have just talked about, and the knowledge you have just shared about. Can we have a huge round of applause for Dr. Arti Girdhar Ma'am and SK Jha Sir in your emojis via your claps if you are in this particular frame. So I can just say, or I can just summarize your presence by saying that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And I think certainly you have played your role prominently well. So thank you so much, ma'am and sir, for enlightening us and our interns. So I know we have, I mean, you guys would having many questions to ask, and we are here to resolve. I mean, we are here to network and connect. But before that, we have one small game for you guys. That is game of gratitude. So can we have game of gratitude on our screen? And what exactly is going to happen? So basically, in this particular chat box, game of gratitude is something that please ignore this particular link. Game of gratitude is a Mentimeter link that would be shared by the team. What you have to do is you have to just provide your insights, that what's in one word that describe how you are feeling about today's session. We want a cloud of gratitude of your genuine feelings. We don't want that you just provide that your flexible answers. Feel free to share your thoughts in that particular genre. By that time, the team has been dipping around the Mentimeter link. Would request you that the forum is open. Please feel free to drop your questions. You can raise your hands, and we will be getting back to this particular Mentimeter pretty soon. By the time you can raise your hands, and we're going to take some questions, and we're going to jump to our final round before we go ahead. And can we stop the transcript, and can we have screen sharing stopped so that I can see the raised hands if any, and I can be removed from the spotlight too. I'm totally fine with that. All right. Any questions for our speaker of the day, Dr. Arti Girdhar Ma'am and Mr. K Jha? You can raise your hands, as well as the chat window is open for you. By that time, I would request the team, please provide the Mentimeter link in the chat box. I would request Nikunj to do the needful in the chat box, or Akshita. Yeah, I think you have the Mentimeter link, guys. Please go ahead. If you don't have any questions, open that particular link, share your thoughts, and submit. We want, if we are 86 over here, at least a response of 86, because you can enter around multiple, but it would be fun to have a cloud with your thoughts. We would be getting back to that thoughts wala thingy. But any questions anyone has? Was this particular session so clear that we don't have anything to ask? But your forum is open, your destiny is open. Feel free before this particular opportunity has been missed. So I will just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. In the chat box, you can ask your questions, as well as you can raise your hands before we go ahead to our Mentimeter, as well as attendance and quiz of the day. That's it. Anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Or else it can happen that the faculty can ask you some questions, and then it would be fun that what kind of an answers you are, you are ready to give around. So feel free to drop any questions you want to ask. That's it. As well as the Mentimeter is with you. If you want, the team can again share the Mentimeter link in the chat box. Open that link, share your thoughts, and we're getting back to the cloud of gratitude pretty soon. It's amazing. It's amazing that there is no questions. Alpesh has some questions to ask. Alpesh, go ahead. Feel free to drop your thoughts.
Sir, this is a question for you. I would just wanted to know, or if you can just let us know any one real-time example in your past experience where you thought that without applying this leadership skill, this problem which is there which is present in front of me can't be resolved. It can be a combination of 2 to 3 skills which are there. So what have been those leadership skills that you thought at that time, without putting this into picture, the problem which is there in front of me can't be resolved?
So the question is to me?
Yes, sir, it's for you. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of things come to my mind, and I think life throws you situations, and one of the whatever type of training and whatever type of preparation that you might have, that might not be sufficient to so it is always, I think, something which has helped me throughout is that A is call a spade. Be truthful. Don't be afraid to share the bad news also if it is so required. Be upfront. So which creates that integrity of engagement, that you are absolutely transparent and in having the full integrity in order to connect with the other person. So that is something which I feel integrity and trust. That is how you build trust. And when you have that trust, many slippages, many defaults, many situations where you might not really deliver to the expectation is forgiven, because you did it with a lot of integrity and purpose and involvement, but things did not pan out. So if you are truthful in your engagement, that helps you. And another most important thing is like something which we forget and which we seldom practice is to have empathy. There are situations, there are like in a corporate world, you are measured quarter on quarter. So it is easy for a leader or for a boss or a manager to walk up to a employee or a person who is working and say that, you know what, you have missed your numbers for 3 consecutive quarters. So if you don't ship up, you'll have to ship out. That is the easiest corporate communication that happens. But if you mix it with a little amount of empathy and say that, you know what, you are missing your numbers for the 3 quarters consecutive. Is everything okay with you? Do you have a problem? Can I help you somewhere? Can I, understand what is going wrong with you? It's the same thing of communication, but the second one which I talked about is with empathy. So when you do it with empathy, the chances are that the person opens up and you are able to mentor, coach, help, and in some time that employee, that team member comes back to the original self. So empathy is important, trust is important. Obviously the other things are definitely there, but yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It answered my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, SK Jha sir. I mean, Dr. Arti ma'am, I do have a question for you also.
Just
Uh,
wait, Alpesh. By that time, somebody messaged me regarding our WhatsApp channel. So do share the link on the chat so that those who want to be a part of it, they are interesting questionnaires our interns are making, and that make a difference because personally, many interns have come to me, ki ma'am, these surveys that we are doing on this WhatsApp channel are refreshing and thought provoking, as well as they surround around their mental health and life skills that help them empower. So we would like our audience who have joined to get the advantage of being a part of this WhatsApp channel. Yes, Siddhant.
Definitely, ma'am.
So just to clear, in your WhatsApp group or WhatsApp in which you all are there, in that particular channel itself, our team is gonna share you the link, and accordingly, please do subscribe to our Anon community too. Moving ahead, my question was for you. I mean, you shared about the 6 habits that we can just implement around. If we have to go a bit generic, what would be the 2 primary habits that every intern or every individual should implement in order to be the future of tomorrow? Any two if you have to suggest.
एम्पैथी 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 बहुत मिस है हमारी सोसाइटी में. आई हैव बीन टू सो मेनी स्कूल्स where in spite of talking about when I if 12th class students were sitting and when I talk about kindness and empathy, they start laughing. I don't know why they are taking these things very casually. They look forward for some difficult words, but these are very easy and can be applicable in your life where you feel very happy. But somewhere when these teenagers are not understanding what empathy and compassion, what kindness do in their life, then they will be only frustrated, angry individual in the time to come, because there are things, there are challenges that will prop up with the diversity in this system, this dynamic world. And these dynamic world, if they are not accepting the change, then definitely they have anger issues. So it's very important, have empathy towards self, have empathy towards others, and then look the world in a different way, accept the change. The second thing that I feel is the listening power. We need to, as a leader, be a very good listener, क्योंकि 6 and 9 है हमारा ये वर्ड. मैं 6 देखती हूँ, आप 9 देखते हो, तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो होगा. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू सिट and talk about the things and listen to each other. Until unless you listen to each other, you cannot be a leader. So these two things that has worked for me. Very empathetic. I have changed a lot. Thank you so much, Shami Pruthi ma'am, for making me understand how empathy, kindness, and compassion and self love do magic in life. Anything else?
I think the session was pretty much crystal clear for each and every intern. So thank you so much for being such a patient audience as you have been providing your insights. Oh, we have a question for you, ma'am.
Oh, yes.
Ma'am, according to you,
I was
which is the best one?
since I was manifesting two more questions for me and one more question before ending this. Okay, yes.
All right. Ma'am, according to you, which is the best quality of a leader?
Um, a leader is not me. A leader is we. And when I see, like today, when Jia came to office, we talked a lot about what is to be done. So I have, because our Anon Utsav is coming. So it do happen. I might have told her ki, "Acha, wahan baith jao. This is your responsibility. You do work, and let me work on Anon Utsav." But no, I told him, sit me with me. Let us plan what is to be done. So we are sitting together. We चाहे 4 intern आए चाहे 10 intern आए मेरे लिए वो family है. And hence we brainstorm and then come to the decision, though they always follow my decision, but yes, I just put myself into their shoes and then look into. Fine. Yeah.
All right. So we have two more questions. Oh, now the question is showering around. We will gonna take two more and we will call it a day. We'll go with Kamakshi. Over to you, ma'am. Please ask your question.
Uh, yes, ma'am. I would like to ask that being a leader, how does one handle disagreements or confrontation in a team?
Very good question. See, disagreement do happen because we all are unique, and you cannot the nature of the other person. Fine, it's the attitude. I often say that we have three kind of friend: reason, season, and forever. Fine, and as a result, there are people in your life who are coming for a reason for the time being. Then there are people who will be long term and forever friend up you. Fine. If you get in your life like-minded people and disagreement is not there, your life is sorted. But if disagreement is there, it's better to document. अच्छा तुमने ये किया मैंने ये किया अच्छा लिखते हैं. And then because when you write, the true emotion could come and you have that document. अच्छा तेरी गलती थी अच्छा मेरी गलती थी, next time से ना we will do work together. So it's all mutual understanding how to resolve whatever conflict is. Because according to me, मैं तो मेरे बच्चों के साथ जब मेरा वो डिस्कनेक्ट होता था तो मैं भी लिखती थी वो भी लिखते थे. अच्छा this is what the situation is, this is what happened, and now you write, now they write, and now we have documented. Now they will feel like okay, we have to work together because this is my problem or this is your problem. Fine. I hope you have
Okay.
understood.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arti, ma'am. Just before we jump to the next question, two last pointer. In this particular chat box, an attendance form would be dropped right now. This attendance form is why it's important, because you are here and your presence matter, and we want to reward you, as I've just mentioned earlier, that attend all 5 sessions of this season 1 of Anon Ki Pathshala, and accordingly we're gonna reward you with the e-certificate. The form is pretty simple. Enter your name, contact number, you have attended today's session, that is leadership skills, and please do check out our Anon Global Foundations page. And definitely this is something that will help us in a long run, and we're going to update you, provide you with all sort of insight, like, and more sessions like this in upcoming future.
And seeing
All
the
right.
audience today,
Hmm.
let me share that the e-certificate, and along with that, we will think of a few surprises also, because that will empower you from inside. Okay, you have done something great in this Pathshala. Fine.
And regarding the surprise, just an heads up, we planned a quiz, leadership skills quiz that is going to happen on 11th of August. That day, you're going to have your session on emotional intelligence. On that particular day, please make sure that you join and have a revision of what you learned on 6th of August by attending that particular leadership quiz. Because as ma'am mentioned, that there are n number of surprises hidden inside the kitty, and that particular surprise is awaiting for you. All right, moving ahead, there were some questions for SK Jha sir. SK Jha sir, the question for you is, many times an individual goes ahead by performing poorly because he has created a network or developed trust in his company. Why it happens?
I'm not clear. Can you repeat the question?
The question is, many times an individual goes ahead by performing poorly because he has created a network or developed trust in his company. This is the question.
In his company, okay. I'm not very sure what the question is, but let me sort of paraphrase.
Ask question. Who has asked this question? Siddharth?
Abhishek Singh, if you can just unmute yourself, that would be really easier
That's
for.
better because I have also
Yeah.
not understood the point.
Is it
Yes,
because
sir.
in the company your performance has gone down? So how do you come out of it?
Yes, sir. It's like many times an individual goes ahead by performing poorly.
Uh-huh.
So it goes ahead by. So the question is, an individual goes ahead by performing poorly because he has created a network or developed trust in his
Let
company. Why
Abhishek
it happens?
speak around if needed. Abhishek, are you in this particular call?
Yeah, of course.
Please go ahead.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि कई बार क्या होता है कि कोई इंडिविजुअल होता है वो कंपनी में उतना अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा होता है बट ही हैज़ अ गुड नेटवर्क और बिकॉज ही हैज डेवलप्ड अ ट्रस्ट इन अ कंपनी कई बार उसको ज़्यादा प्रेफर किया जाता है फॉर टू गिव अ चांस टू डू समथिंग मतलब कई बार वो इतना परफॉर्म नहीं करता बट या उसने इतना ट्रस्ट डेवलप कर लिया है या फिर नेटवर्क बिल्डअप कर लिया है तो उसके कारण उसको प्रेफरेंस दी जाती है ऐसा क्यों होता है
ऐसा
मैं
क्यों होता है?
हम्म,
So I think if I understand जो ये कह रहे हैं कि in certain circumstances or organizations, even if you are low performing, you still get to progress or you still get to continue. So I think which basically takes me to a salient point that performance might can be improved. But if the person is intrinsically trustworthy, if the organization trusts him for the ability, I think that's the reason they get to stay along more or they get to have some preference. So that is a organizational trait and nothing wrong in that. Because if the person is not deliberately underperforming or is not diligent in performing, that could be a different issue. But there could be times when you might not be a very top performer, but you are high in trust. So that has greater value. So trust is always kept at a pedestal, and it all depends at what are you vying for a leadership position. Trust and performance both are important. But generally, people give higher attribute to trust. So it so happens. So ऐसा क्यों होता है? क्योंकि trust का ज़्यादा value है.
Let me add one more thing that come across in my mind. See, we are living in a social circle. और सोशल सर्कल में कई बार नहीं आइडेंटिफाई हो पाता कि क्योंकि एक वीडियो चली थी बहुत सारी जिसमें वर्कर्स आर वर्किंग बट अ पर्सन प्रिटेंड टू वर्क वो सिर्फ उसको पुश कर रहा है और वो कर रहा है वो एक्चुअली मेहनत नहीं कर रहा एंड देन देर आर पीपल लाइक दिस इन एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बिकॉज अ लीडर हैज टू टेक द टीम उसमें ये फ्लॉज तो होंगे but yes somewhere because he has that good communication he may develop that story that he has done it work. तो वो story developer है actually. He is not the hard working person, a story developer. And ये इतने ज़्यादा नहीं चलेंगे. आपके दो
उसका 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 इसका कारण होता है, there is a flaw in the leader, where somewhere in that situation the leader is having a flaw or an oversight, because somewhere the leader through his messaging is trying to convey that if you are just good in communication, you'll be fine. But that is a flawed leadership. That is something, it does not fly long. It has to collapse. And you have to bring performance that is there. You have to deliver, but at the same time, just by doing talking and being very extrovert and being a good communicator, it might take you to some distance. But I can definitely tell you that the reckoning is around the corner. So वो ज़्यादा दिन नहीं चलता है. It's a don't be too overtly influenced or क्या कहते हैं, negatively influenced, कि भाई नहीं काम करने से मेरा चल जाएगा. हो सकता है, might be that in that flawed organization or in that under that flawed leadership it might happen, but overall in life it does not work out. It sort of streamlines as we progress. So don't be influenced by that. My advice would be that.
That might be the reason many company fails also, because
Yep.
leader
Yep.
not be looking into the kind of work. एक एग्जांपल जहाँ सर ने दिया था बहुत पहले एक मीटिंग में, दैट टीवी की एलईडी लाइट्स होती हैं, उसमें जब एक लाइट अगर खराब होती है तो वो टीवी का पूरा लुक खराब करती है. तो वो टीवी की जो एक लाइट खराब है वो आइडेंटिफाई कौन करेगा? वो लीडर करेगा. देन ओनली द होल थिंग लुक ब्यूटीफुल. फाइन.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
I still remember that the quote of yours an year back in an event. So thank you.
Thank you. I think we will definitely have a lot of more questions and a lot of more inputs. Please do, if you have a forum which raises this question, I'll try and see if I can respond back, might be on an offline method. One
Sure.
input to Anon, or rather one suggestion from my side would be that you are doing many multiple workshop, and how about including neuroprogramming? So I heard about manifestation. It's such a important thing, and it's something which I very, very closely believe is that the power of or the ability to manifest. And human minds generally can't comprehend in the negative. If we have 75 people in the participant list as of now, and if I tell the entire group, don't think about an elephant, you know what? Everybody of you are imagining that elephant. So human minds can't comprehend the negative, so they don't know how to handle it. Like if you see, if you tell somebody who is going out for skiing, and you tell them, make sure you don't hit the bushes, 100% the guy will hit the bush. When you tell a pilot, avoid that obstacle, chances are he'll land himself into that obstacle. So all these can be overcome through neuroprogramming, and manifestation is through that neuroprogramming. So I saw something on the efforts that you are doing. If you can amplify that in your other workshops, it will be great.
And sir, you need to attend it, and Shami Pruthi will be taking forward.
Sure. This was for Sami, ma'am.
Often call it as monkey mind. So we
Yep.
have minds regarding that. Thank you very much.
Lovely. So before we wrap up, I would request you, let's have the Mentimeter, that where do we stand with that particular number. And by that time, the team has been sharing his screen again. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone. I mean, it's close to 11 tonight, and your dedication and enthusiasm is something that I mean a lot. I mean, I know that many of you have your schools tomorrow, but this is inspiring that you are committed to be in this particular very special season of our Pathshala from start to end. So a big shout out to each and every participants who have just came across and been staying around for so long. Thank you so much, everyone. So this is the Mentimeter in our in front of our screen. That what's one word that describe how you're feeling about today's session? And trust me, as I was expecting, this is gonna happen. Everyone has just mentioned that I was inspired, amazing, informative, insightful, enlightful, enthusiastic, excellent, helpful, extremely motivated. Oh my, I mean, Rita has been feeling around, but it's amazing to see the response.
वर्ड
And
मैजिक कौन सा है बताओ सिद्धांत?
जी मैम,
वन मैजिक वर्ड कौन सा है इतने सारे वर्ड्स पढ़ के?
desire to become a leader.
तथास्तु.
तथास्तु. किधर है? All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I mean, you have been a great support for our baby initiative, and trust me, before I conclude uh, the inaugural episode of Anonki Pathshala, just one last thing, that let's talk about our upcoming session of Anonki Pathshala. That is our second session, which will focus on emotional intelligence, which would be conducted by Ms. Devinder Kaur on 11th August. Mark your calendar and stay tuned, because emotional intelligence is the key to both personal and professional success. And trust me, you won't want to miss this particular session, because you're going to have a recap of today's leadership skills quiz, and you're going to have a session by Devinder Kaur ma'am, and there are many hidden surprises that we're going to talk about on 11th of August. Lastly, in the chat box, we have dropped the social media handles of Dr. Arti Girdhar and SK Jha. Feel free to follow them up and ask your questions if you have missed today. So thank you so much, team. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we conclude today's session, I would like to call upon our EC Vice President of Anon Global Foundation. He is a working professional in TCS and resides in Mumbai. I would request Mr. Alpesh Saxena to take the center stage and conclude episode 1 of Anon Ki Pathshala. Thank you. Over to you, Alpesh.
Yes. So in the beginning, Siddhant had taken the first 300 seconds of yours. So it's now my turn to take the last 2 to 300 seconds of yours for the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank and express my deepest gratitude to Mr. S.K. Jha Sir and Dr. Arti Girdhar Ma'am for providing such amazing and valuable insights and exploring various nuances on the topic of leadership skills. Secondly, and most importantly, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude and thank you to the entire core team of Anon Ki Pathshala, who have been working tirelessly day in and out. And believe me, I request each and everyone who is present in this meeting to please give them a big round of applause and a huge shout out. Yes. Believe me, for past many weeks, they have been staying up all night, providing those additional professional touches just to make sure that there is no stone which is left unturned for the resounding success of Anon Ki Pathshala. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our audience, all the interns and the other attendees who are present in this meeting, who are becoming the first and the foremost attendees of the debut session of Anon Ki Pathshala. We hope that you enjoyed the session a lot and have taken up a note of all the major key takeaways and learnings. It wouldn't have been possible without your love and support. Thank you so much for attending Anon Ki Pathshala. Stay tuned with us on all our socials and WhatsApp channel, as there are many more sessions which are lined up just for you. Thank you so much. Shubh Ratri.